I studied abroad from, let's see here, August 15th until January 10th, 2011.
I studied abroad last spring semester. I went through a program called Academic Programs International, or known as API. I studied abroad in Spain.
I studied abroad fall of 2010, and I went through Academic Program International, or API, and I signed up for that through NDSU. I went to London, England.
I studied abroad in Australia at the University of the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia.
I made the study abroad decision very late, so I had about 2 weeks to finish all my paperwork, and I did it in that amount of time, so it can be done
Study
in
abroad
about 2
office
weeks.
was there to help me out a lot. They were there to provide resources for me, to help me out with answering any questions, and also they gave me contact information of returning students from North Dakota State who attended the same university that I attended in Australia. So that was a great help, being able to talk to someone who was actually there and experienced what I was about to do.
My trip was kind of affordable. It was rather expensive, but once I got there, the only thing I needed to pay for was food and souvenirs, that sort of thing.
My trip was fairly affordable. I actually chose to go through a private program, which is a little more expensive than going through NDSU, but because of that, I was able to do a lot more that I wouldn't have been able to do if I was through an NDSU program. I also spent a lot of money traveling outside of my program during spring break and also before I returned to the U.S., and so that's where a lot of my money was spent. I would definitely recommend Academic Programs International to study abroad. The program was very nice in the fact that, yes, it may cost a little more, but it also gave me a chance to travel with a group of Americans over there, which a lot of people don't get a chance to do. There was excursions included in the trip that cost a little extra, but we were able to experience a lot of cultural things that you might not get a chance to do if you went through just a direct exchange program. They also had an office on site and two full-time directors that were there for whatever possible things that you needed help with, whether it be cultural adjustments or finding volunteer opportunities or just any questions you had about the culture. And I think that's one of the reasons why I chose the private program and why it was definitely beneficial for me. I would definitely recommend going through a private program if you can afford it, just because of all the extra things that you get along with it.
The Swedish program was fantastic, and I learned quite a bit. And I also got to utilize the classes towards my major here at NDSU and transfer the credits. And studying abroad in general is just something that I feel many more college students should do with their time.
Because I was a little lost with their school system, but I would recommend studying abroad to anyone because it's a great experience. You learn a lot of just a lot of skills that you wouldn't learn here, like
The academic portion of studying abroad was very interesting. It was a lot different than the U.S. in terms of the teaching styles and how the classrooms are set up and just how school is set up in general. I took about 4 to 5 hours of classes a day in Spanish with native Spanish speakers, and my classes were filled with international students. The international students were
Being in Sweden, I traveled to right around 15, 16 other countries by train and planes. And the people that I ended up traveling with, we all grouped onto each other right away. So we were traveling together within the first month of meeting each other. So it was great. What was your academic experience like?
Part of my favorite experience about the study abroad program was I got to go on a bunch of little side trips with the company I went abroad with. They took us to like Stonehenge, and we went and saw where the Bronte sisters were from. I did get to go to Germany and Ireland while I was over there also, and visited some friends that were over abroad also. That was a lot of fun.
Future study abroad students, the advice that I would give them would be to prepare as much as you can. If you know exactly where you're going and how long you're going to be there, it's easy to start learning about the culture so that when you get there, some of the cultural adjustments aren't as hard as they would be if you were not prepared. I would also say
students
travel
is
as much as
to
you can.
experience everything you can and to take advantage of this opportunity. Obviously, studying abroad is a rare opportunity that not a lot of people take. So once you get to the place you're going to study abroad, try to experience everything, meet new people, and just get out of your comfort zone. I mean, you're taking this opportunity, and it's just important that you get everything out of it that you expect to put into it. My favorite experience studying abroad, aside from all the friends and relationships